Hey everyone. Um, it's a little dark in here. Sorry. My overhead light decided to, I guess, shit the bed. But I don't know. I just wanted to kind of hop on here and talk about stress a little bit because it's become like a really big thing in my life. So um, I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with it all. It's like when one thing goes right, another thing goes wrong, and um when you have like hurtful things said about you or anything of that sort, it really like just brings you down when you're already down. And like, I don't know what kind of stress you're under, but my stress, yeah, I'm on house arrest, and it seems like, oh, I have no stress. I'm just sitting here, right? No, it's really not like that. Like, I have to be somewhere at my program at 8 o'clock, like every morning. I have to meet all the requirements of everything, and not to mention the $9,000 in fines, which whatever, I'm trying to double up and pay on those. But like the main thing I'm getting at here is like I just feel like there has to be a better way to deal with stress. Like, I don't know, is like maybe your anxiety so bad that when you go to the mailbox and you get the mail, you don't open it because you're afraid of what you're gonna find. I mean, like, that's how my anxiety gets. So someone's yelling at you and saying bad things to you, and you don't want to do the same thing back to them or whatever because you know that you can take it too far. Um, it really hurts you no matter what. It really hurts to hear those things, even if they aren't true, even if it's just said out of anger. Um, those words really hurt, and like I call this my transformation because obviously I'm not perfect and I never claimed to be, but I sure have tried everything in my power to become as good as I can. And like, yesterday I had, or not yesterday, but the other day I talked about coping skills and how important they were. But like, they come in handy when you have stress. And yes, they come in handy, but they don't fix the stress. A lot of these stressful situations that keep coming at me, it's like I get one step ahead of getting away from, everything I went away from, and it's like 10 steps back. And that's like basically the story of my life, and that's why it's so hard, and it's like that's why I always emphasize so much on how important support is because like otherwise you just feel alone. You know, um I'm pretty much alone with the internet. I have one good friend and she comes on and supports me, but like other than that, I really don't have a lot, but that's okay. Um I guess, it's just a matter of how you deal with that stress, and I'm trying to rearrange how I deal with stress. How I deal with stress, usually a stressful situation happens, I get tensed up. Right there is a warning sign of just getting tensed up. And then if someone says the wrong thing to me, I go off. And being a therapist or whatever, I know people's weaknesses. I pick up on people's weaknesses, and then I say cutthroat things that I don't mean. So that's why I really just walk away from a situation because like I can't have that screaming and yelling at me anymore because I can't take it. I really cannot take it, whether it be from like past traumas or whatever. I really cannot take being screamed at, and it really affects me. So, plus, not to mention, I have a 3-year-old daughter that I have to worry about, and I really don't want her in the middle of like, a knockdown scream match. And, just working on trying to pay off the debt on my house and everything else. It's like it takes a lot, especially when the state wants 9 grand from you, house arrest wants, 1,500 from you. It it gets really taxing. Now it's, PennDOT saying that either I keep insurance on my car for 2.5 years that I'm not gonna drive or send in my registration tags and stuff. So it's like no matter what happens, it seems like another piece of stress is piled on top. When you think you have it figured out, no, it falls apart. And I'm not trying to make this a negative video by any means. Like, just know that if those things are happening to you and you feel like, you're a person like that that kind of just gives and gives and doesn't really get much in return, um, I think the big thing is to just keep your head up and keep trying to reach your goals. You know, I get made fun of because I want to be a rapper. Big deal. Like I like to write music. I'm sorry that it's fast music that I would like people to dance to. That's just how I am. That's who I am. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it's something very important to me, and it's one of my coping skills. Writing, especially, that helps me to get through these times. I have way too much free time to sit here and just think about things, and the more I ruminate, the worse that things get. And that's what people don't understand. Yes, I did this to myself. Yes, I'm on house arrest. Yes, I know that. Like, I've come to terms with all that. But the constantly finding rides every day when you don't have a driver's license, the following out of, like, other plans, it just it all just kind of boils down to, like, how much stress can one person handle? And at times I do feel like I'm at my breaking point, and that's when it gets dangerous. That's when start to have those thoughts that are dangerous. And I'm not saying I'm suicidal by any means right now, but, like, those thoughts don't help. They definitely don't help. And that's why, the coping video, if you've watched it or haven't had a chance to, please watch that because those are skills that can help you in situations like this. I've just had a bad couple of days, and I just know for myself, like, I don't want to disappear because, having like a nervous breakdown or whatever, but I just want to kind of explain for myself, like, it's not always going to be great things. And unfortunately, it seems like in my life, it's one roadblock after another. But, hopefully one day things will look up. Hopefully one day, someone will understand that, like, I'm serious and um, maybe see everything that's been done and whatever. It doesn't matter. I guess if it's not important, it's not important. But the top thing that I want to point out is just that, like, that's why I always say to be kind. You never know when someone's counting on you, or someone's really just, confused by your actions, or you can't have that good relationship without good communication. And unfortunately, a lot of my close friendships have just failed because of that. I have Chandra's my one friend, like, that really has not, strayed away from me as far as, like, my problems. But um, it's just the point that, like, when my best friend died, like, I didn't know what to do with myself. Not because of everything that I had going on. I just couldn't imagine another day without him, honestly. And I still live by that, but you have to let that stuff go. And I mean, you're compiling stress on that happened, 7, 8 months ago. So, like, it's just constant, constant, constant. So, like, dealing with the stress, feeling like you have the weight of the world on their shoulders. The only thing I can really say as far as, like, dealing with those things and really uh tackling those possible hardships or whatever you have in your life is to make the list. get everything you can do in the day's work, cross those things off the list, and then the next things on the list become the most top things to do on the list until you finally get all of your things completed. It's just that, like, I guess I try to kamikaze my way into, like, just getting out of this town, getting out of this area, and, getting rid of my house and just so much that, maybe I didn't make my list and follow it, but that could be the reason why my life feels kind of chaotic right now. I'm hoping that that changes. I'm hoping that I can make something happen. I hope that I can pull something out of my ass because that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So, I really hope that, and that's the thing, that's the key word right there. As long as you still say I hope, I hope, I hope, no matter what you're dealing with, inside, outside, other people, whatever, as long as you still have that hope that, things could get better. Make sure you always keep that hope because once you lose that hope, then you're not going to fight for anything that you want. And I think that's the most important thing is if you want something, fight for it. Do your best you can, do with what's in your means, and go for whatever you want to do. If you want to be a rapper, be a rapper. If you want to be, if you want to work at Giant Eagle to bag groceries, go ahead. I would love to do that. If you want to be a therapist and use your degree, if they hire you, fine. If you want to work at the pot dispensary, go for it. Think whatever your ambitions and goals are. If it takes some schooling, go for it. What's the big deal? I've 9 years of college behind my belt, so it's not really that big of a deal. It goes pretty fast. And I think just as far as dealing with stress is concerned, is like, just taking a step back into your own little world. And like, I know that I said, thinking for me causes panic attacks, but in this instance, I really need to just go into my own little world and figure out what is going to make my own little world into something that I would be happy with. And although I've been trying, it just doesn't seem like it's happening right now. And I really wish that I could give you better and more positive advice right now. But just know that as of right now, maybe things aren't that great. But maybe in a day, I'll be able to make a video and say, hey, everything's changed. And I'm hoping for that. There's that word again is hope. Don't ever lose hope. That's all I ask is, keep trying, keep pushing, keep hoping. Because once you lose that hope, there's just nothing left. But anyways, be kind to one another, please. And I hope you liked my video. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I'm just a little down today, but I will be back and I will have an update on, my situation. So if you care, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking this time to watch this if you did. I hope you all take care. Have a good weekend.